America's newest warbird can destroy an entire enemy air force with a single mission. The F-15EX Eagle II is a menacing beast with razor-sharp sensors and devastating 15 deadly missiles that completely revolutionize aerial warfare. Could this be the weapon that makes stealth fighters obsolete? What happens when America's enemies face a fighter jet that never runs out of missiles? Join us as we find out why America's new F-15X Eagle II is feared around the world. The story of the F-15 started during the Vietnam War when the United States needed a better fighter jet to keep up with enemy planes. In 1972, a new aircraft took its first flight, the F-15 Eagle. This wasn't just any plane. It was America's answer to Soviet jets that were proving faster and more maneuverable than the United States planes flying in Vietnam. The F-15 was built based on what the military had learned in battle. Instead of trying to do everything like older jets, the Eagle was designed to do one thing very well: win air battles. Its two engines gave it incredible speed, and its large wings helped it make sharp turns, making it both fast and agile. You could think of it like a heavyweight boxer who moves like a dancer. That's what made the F-15 so special. With its speed, strength, and ability to outmaneuver other jets, the F-15 quickly became a powerful weapon in the sky. It wasn't just built to compete, it was built to dominate. Over time, the F-15 proved itself in many battles, becoming a symbol of U.S. air power and showing that the lessons learned in Vietnam were put to good use. In 1986, a new version called the F-15E Strike Eagle joined the family. This model was like giving a boxer a new set of skills. Not only could it fight other aircraft, but it could also carry bombs to strike ground targets. The Strike Eagle proved so successful that it changed how the Air Force thought about fighter jets. Fast forward to 2021, and the newest member of the family arrived, the F-15X Eagle II. This version keeps the tough, proven design of its ancestors, but adds cutting-edge technology. It is basically taking a classic muscle car and giving it the latest computers, sensors, and electronics. That's what Boeing did with the Eagle II. What makes this history remarkable is how the F-15 has stayed relevant for over 15 years. While many aircraft from the 1970s have retired, the F-15 keeps evolving. The original design was so good that engineers kept finding ways to make it better rather than replace it. The F-15's success isn't just about American pride. It has proven itself in combat worldwide. Israeli F-15s have never lost a fight in air combat. Saudi Arabian Eagles defended against Iraqi attacks. Japanese F-15s guard their homeland daily. This track record helped make the F-15 one of the most trusted fighter jets ever built. Every time experts predicted the F-15 would be replaced by newer jets, it adapted and proved them wrong. As the Eagle continued to dominate the skies over 5 decades, how did Boeing transform this classic fighter into a cutting-edge digital warrior? Inside the fighter jet, traditional cockpit gauges have given way to large touchscreens that would make any tech enthusiast envious. These interactive displays give pilots instant access to critical flight information, weapon status, and threat data. Imagine having several high-end tablet computers seamlessly integrated into your control center. This digital cockpit reduces pilot workload and allows for quicker decision-making in combat situations. At the heart of this transformation is what Boeing calls the fastest mission computer ever installed on a fighter jet. This computer processes combat information at lightning speed, handling everything from targeting calculations to defensive systems. It's like giving the aircraft a supercomputer brain that can think and react faster than its opponents. The Eagle Passive Active Warning and Survivability System represents another leap forward. This electronic guard angel constantly scans for threats and automatically suggests countermeasures. It's sophisticated enough to detect enemy radar signals, incoming missiles, and other dangers while recommending the best defensive actions, all in real time. Pilots now benefit from the Joint Helmet-Mounted Cueing System, which turns their helmet into an advanced targeting device. By simply looking at an enemy aircraft, pilots can lock onto targets and launch missiles, a capability that seems straight out of science fiction, but is now standard equipment. Perhaps the most significant advancement is the open mission system architecture. This innovative approach allows the fighter jet to receive software and hardware upgrades quickly, much like updating your smartphone. Instead of lengthy overhauls, new capabilities can be added through simple updates, keeping the aircraft current against evolving threats. The digital fly-by-wire flight controls represent another major improvement. Unlike older mechanical systems, these controls use electronic signals to translate pilot inputs into aircraft movements. This technology not only makes the aircraft more responsive, but also adds layers of protection against pilot errors and extreme maneuvers. These technological updates work together in harmony, creating a fighter jet that's both easier to fly and more lethal in combat. While the exterior may look similar to earlier F-15s, the cockpit and internal systems would be unrecognizable to pilots from previous generations. The airfighter proves that sometimes the best innovation comes from modernizing proven designs rather than starting from scratch. Boeing's engineers achieved something remarkable by maintaining the F-15's legendary performance while adding technology that keeps it competitive against newer fighters. This combination of raw power and advanced electronics ensures the Eagle II will remain a formidable presence in the skies for decades to come. With such advanced technology at its core, one might wonder, how does this air fighter transform all this digital power into raw combat capability? The F-15X's weapons capacity tells a story of remarkable evolution. While earlier F-15 models carried 8 missiles, the new Eagle II can load up with an impressive arsenal of 12 air-to-air missiles plus 3 cruise missiles. This dramatic increase comes from the innovative Advanced Missile and Bomb Ejector Rack that allows more weapons to fit in the same space. The aircraft now boasts 23 weapon stations, up from the 17 found on older models. Think of it as upgrading from a pickup truck to an 18-wheeler. The same basic concept, but much more hauling power. This increase isn't just about numbers, it's about flexibility. This fighter jet can carry different combinations of weapons for various missions, from air combat to ground attack. In a typical combat load, the Eagle II can carry 12 AMRAAM missiles for long-range air battles. These radar-guided missiles can track multiple targets simultaneously, giving pilots a significant advantage in complex aerial engagements. The aircraft can also carry Sidewinder missiles for close-range dogfights, making it deadly at any distance. What makes this weapon's capacity truly special is the ability to carry outsized weapons like the AGM-183 ARRW hypersonic missile. These massive missiles are too large for stealth fighters to carry internally, making this air fighter uniquely suited for certain critical missions. The plane can also load up with precision bombs, anti-radar missiles, and various other weapons depending on the mission requirements. All these weapons are managed by an advanced digital system that helps pilots track and deploy their arsenal effectively. The head-up display shows vital information about selected weapons, while controls on the throttle and stick allow for quick weapon selection and firing. It's like having a video game interface, but for real combat situations. However, carrying more weapons does come with trade-offs. A fully loaded F-15EX will fly slower and less nimbly than an empty one. But Boeing's engineers have cleverly designed the aircraft to maintain good handling characteristics, even when loaded to its maximum capacity of 29,000 pounds of weapons and fuel. This massive weapon capacity makes this air fighter unique in modern air forces. While stealth fighters must hide their weapons inside internal bays to maintain their radar-evading properties, the Eagle II proudly carries its arsenal externally, serving as a flying arsenal that can support other aircraft in combat operations. With such impressive firepower at its disposal, what makes the F-15X's combat capabilities truly extraordinary in real-world scenarios? The F-15X's combat effectiveness comes down to simple math, but with remarkable results. Even with a conservative 50% success rate for its missiles, a single air fighter could potentially eliminate 6 enemy aircraft in one mission. This isn't just about raw numbers. It's about changing the dynamics of aerial combat. When adversaries know they're facing an aircraft with such overwhelming firepower, they must completely rethink their tactics. The JASSM cruise missiles add another dimension to the Eagle II's capabilities. These stealthy weapons can strike targets up to 250 miles away while staying hidden from enemy radar. Think of them as invisible arrows that can thread through the most sophisticated air defenses. With 3 of these missiles, one of this air fighter can attack multiple heavily defended targets without putting itself at risk. What makes the F-15X truly special is its versatility in combat. After launching its cruise missiles at ground targets, it can immediately switch roles and engage enemy aircraft, This dual-role capability is like having two fighters in one, a bomber that can defend itself and a fighter that can strike ground targets. The rear cockpit adds another advantage with a dedicated weapons systems officer. While the pilot focuses on flying, the WSO manages the complex weapon systems using 4 advanced display screens. They can track targets, monitor threats, and coordinate attacks, essentially doubling the aircraft's combat effectiveness. The advanced targeting systems, including infrared sensors and precision radar, allow the crew to operate in any weather, day or night. The terrain-following radar lets them fly at extremely low altitudes to avoid detection, while the digital moving map system ensures precise navigation, even in the most challenging conditions. Powering all this capability are 2 engines that can generate up to 58,000 pounds of thrust combined. This massive power allows the fighter jet to accelerate from idle to maximum afterburner in less than 4 seconds, crucial for escaping danger or pursuing targets. The conformal fuel tanks provide extended range without sacrificing performance, letting the aircraft operate far from its home base. Together, these capabilities make the fighter jet a formidable presence in modern air warfare. It can strike from beyond enemy radar range, defend itself in close combat, and adapt to changing mission requirements on the fly. This flexibility, combined with its massive weapon capacity, means a small number of airfighters can have an outsized impact on any conflict. With such impressive combat capabilities in both air and ground missions, one might wonder, how does this fighter jet compete in a world dominated by stealth fighters like the F-35? The difference between stealth and non-stealth fighters comes down to a fundamental design choice. Stealth aircraft, like the F-35, must hide their weapons inside internal bays to maintain their radar-evading properties. It's like trying to smuggle something under a coat. The bulge gives it away. The fighter jet takes the opposite approach, proudly displaying its arsenal on external racks, trading stealth for raw firepower. While this might seem like a disadvantage, Boeing has found clever ways to compensate. The new Eagle passive warning survivability system gives the fighter jet advanced electronic warfare capabilities. Think of it as an electronic shield that can detect threats, jam enemy radars, and help the aircraft survive in heavily defended airspace. This system allows the airfighter to blind enemy defenses electronically rather than hiding from them physically. The F-15EX's design actually evolved from an earlier concept called the Silent Eagle, which incorporated some stealth features. While the current version isn't as stealthy as that prototype, it likely inherited some radar-reducing features. Boeing remains quiet about specific details, but the aircraft may use radar-absorbing materials on its front sections, making it harder to detect from certain angles. Instead of relying solely on radar, the fighter jet can use passive infrared sensors to track targets without giving away their position. This capability, combined with its advanced electronic warfare suite, creates what engineers call virtual stealth, the ability to survive in hostile airspace without traditional stealth design. The trade-off between stealth and weapons capacity reflects different combat philosophies. Stealth fighters slip through enemy defenses undetected, carrying smaller weapon loads internally. The fighter jet, however, can overwhelm those same defenses with superior firepower and electronic warfare. It's the difference between a ninja and a heavily armed warrior. This non-stealth design also offers practical advantages. External weapons make the air fighter more versatile. Weapons can be quickly loaded, changed, or upgraded without the complex engineering required for internal weapon bays. The aircraft can carry outsized weapons that simply wouldn't fit inside a stealth fighter, including new hypersonic missiles. The speed and maneuverability trade-offs are also worth noting. While a fully loaded F-15EX will fly slower than when empty, its powerful engines and advanced flight controls help maintain good handling characteristics. The aircraft's digital fly-by-wire system automatically compensates for different weapon loads, making it easier for pilots to fly effectively, regardless of configuration. Boeing's approach acknowledges a simple truth. Not every mission requires stealth. Sometimes you need raw firepower more than invisibility. This fighter jet excels in defending homeland airspace, providing air superiority over friendly territory, and operating in environments where stealth isn't the primary concern. Its impressive range and weapon capacity make it particularly valuable for missions requiring extended combat operations or multiple target engagements. The result is an aircraft that creates its own niche in modern air warfare. While it may not sneak past advanced air defenses like an F-35, this fighter jet can suppress those same defenses with electronic warfare and overwhelming firepower. This capability, combined with its lower operating costs and proven reliability, ensures the Eagle II remains a formidable force in contemporary air combat. With such impressive technological capabilities and unique design features, what role will the F-15X play in future air warfare alongside stealth fighters? The F-15X's future role represents a clever balance of old and new, combining proven reliability with cutting-edge innovation. Think of it as a missile truck supporting stealthier fighters like the F-35 and F-22. While these stealth aircraft sneak behind enemy lines to identify threats, the fighter jet waits at a safer distance, ready to launch long-range missiles at the targets they discover. This partnership approach maximizes the strengths of both aircraft types. Stealth fighters can carry only a limited number of weapons in their internal bays, but they excel at penetrating heavily defended airspace undetected. The fighter jet, with its massive weapons load, serves as its arsenal, providing additional firepower when needed. It's like having a heavily armed supply ship supporting stealthy scout vessels. The Air Force's decision to invest in the F-15EX wasn't just about replacing aging F-15C fighters. It reflects a deeper understanding of modern air combat needs. Not every mission requires stealth, and sometimes having an aircraft that can carry large amounts of weapons while operating from distant bases proves more valuable. This fighter jet, with its impressive range and payload capacity, fills this role perfectly. Looking ahead, the F-15EX is positioned to become even more important as new weapons enter service. It's currently the only fighter capable of carrying the Air Force's newest hypersonic missiles and other oversized weapons. This unique capability makes it invaluable for long-range strike missions and deterrence operations, especially in vast regions like the Pacific Theater. The aircraft's open mission systems architecture represents another key advantage for future operations. This design allows for quick updates to software and hardware, similar to upgrading a computer. As new threats emerge or better technology becomes available, the airfighter can adapt quickly without requiring major rebuilds. Interoperability with allies adds another dimension to the fighter jet's future role. Many United States allies already operate F-15s, making it easier to share maintenance facilities, spare parts, and training resources. This commonality strengthens military partnerships and improves coalition operations in potential conflicts. Cost effectiveness also shapes the fighter jet's future importance. While not cheap, it costs less to operate than stealth fighters and requires less maintenance. The Air Force can maintain a larger fleet of these aircraft, ensuring better coverage for homeland defense and international operations. The F-15X's advanced electronic warfare capabilities represent a significant shift in how modern air combat is approached. Instead of relying solely on physical stealth to evade detection, the airfighter employs a blend of sophisticated jamming, deception, and defensive systems designed to confuse and disrupt enemy radar and missile targeting. This virtual stealth concept offers an adaptable layer of protection, which becomes crucial as radar and detection technologies continue to improve. By focusing on these electronic countermeasures, the fighter jet can operate effectively in highly contested environments, where stealth alone might not be sufficient to remain undetected. What makes this even more vital is the fighter jet's ability to project power far from home. With its long-range capabilities and massive payload capacity, this fighter is specifically designed for scenarios where air bases may be spread across vast distances, such as in the Pacific Theater. In such regions, the aircraft may have to operate independently or in small numbers, yet still face adversaries with superior numerical strength. The F-15EX mitigates this disadvantage by combining its formidable range, advanced avionics, and ability to carry a variety of precision-guided munitions. This flexibility allows it to engage a range of targets and return safely to distant air bases, maintaining operational effectiveness even when outnumbered or operating far from logistical support. In this context, the F-15EX is not just a fighter jet, it's a force multiplier. Its ability to defend itself while delivering payloads over long distances ensures that the Air Force can respond to threats across a broad spectrum of conflict zones, maintaining strategic dominance regardless of how far the theater of operations might be from home bases. This makes the aircraft particularly invaluable in scenarios where air dominance must be achieved in challenging environments with limited infrastructure, reinforcing the Air Force's ability to fight and win, even when faced with overwhelming odds. As tensions rise globally and the nature of aerial warfare continues to evolve, the fighter jet's role appears increasingly crucial. It bridges the gap between fourth and fifth generation fighters while providing capabilities neither can match. This versatility, combined with its impressive combat performance, suggests the Eagle II will remain a vital part of America's air power well into the future. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.